Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh and welcome to a new episode of M-Talk. Today, here we are gathered to talk about some of the incidents that happened or are happening in the world. You know that last month, December of 2023, we celebrated Human Rights Day. And it was quoted with a tagline, equality for all, human rights every day and everywhere. So Hannah, how much do you think that this quote give a relevance to the past events that the world witnessed?
Yeah, as we examine the darkest chapters of history, we come across egregious violations of human rights. As we discuss, many examples are there, like Rwandan genocide and Armenian genocide of 1915, where over 1 million Armenians were killed. Another familiar example is the apartheid in South Africa, where the majority of the South African population or the black community were suppressed. They were faced with denial of basic rights. And we learned in our history and literature chapters that Nelson Mandela, he led the struggle against apartheid and it triumphed, but the scars still linger over the nation's history. Now, another incident is the false accusation of having weapons of mass destruction in Iraq, particularly against Saddam Hussein, and which led to the war of Iraq in 2003, and many people were killed. Talking about the world, talking about our own country, India, we've got many examples like anti-Sikh riot, Gujarat riot of 2002, and in the present too, we've got gender-based discriminations, caste-based discriminations, Manipur issues, treatment of marginalized communities, etc. So, summing up and learning from all these past atrocities, we should build a future where human dignity, respect, and equality is universally respected. So, still we are a generation witnessing one of the most awful genocides and one that's totally against human rights. So, we don't think that's going on pace, so we'll talk about it more.
Yes, as she stopped without mentioning it, it is Palestinian genocide. And we know about the report says that more than 22,000 plus civilians killed by Israel attack in Palestine as of now. So Jalwa, how do you feel about this Palestinian issue?
Okay, if we talk about the human rights violation that's happening in Palestine, Israel is continuously targeting the schools, hospitals, refugee camps, and even neonatal care centers are not spared. This results in the killing of the innocent civilians, patients, and small children. As Dania said, as of the report, 22,000 plus civilians are dead, are killed, and 9,600 of them are children. The children are not able to live peacefully right now. They are always thinking about the attack that they are going to face at any moment. Like the little Palestinian girl Haya. She even wrote her will at this young age, asking to give her belongings to her beloved ones, not even sure that they will be alive at that moment. Like this, many civilians, the physical and medical conditions of the civilians are worsening day by day. They are not getting enough basic needs. As of human rights, every person should get access to the basic needs like medicine, food, water, and shelter. But right now, the Palestinians are not getting enough food, water, and shelter. 80% of houses in Palestine is demolished right now. The way that Israel is attacking on Palestine is really not acceptable. The use of prohibited weapons like white phosphorus and targeting of journalists and their family members. Like Wael Dahdo, he lost his children, grandson, and wife in an Israeli airstrike.
Recently, son Hamsal Dahdo.
Yeah, yes. Like this, 100 plus journalists and workers are confirmed to be killed. The targeting of journalists and medical workers and civilians are considered as war crimes. But to our surprise, UN, who proclaimed this principle, is not taking any actions against this.
Talking about UN has been established in 1945 to maintain international peace and security. One of their motive was to protect human rights. So we are really not sure that's what's happening.
Yes, so before the conclusion, let me add one more point to this discussion about the academics. As a student, I'm concerned about their academics. We concerned about their academics. Their academic system is collapsed and their schools have been bombing and their refugee camps too. Then, talking about the UN, one of the features that about human rights that proclaimed by UN is advocacy and activism, which encourage people to raise their voice against human rights violation. But unfortunately, the world fell silent. I think it's not the world that fell silent, but the people or the world leaders who have power in their hands fell silent. But for our hope, the youngsters are with Palestinians and they are against human rights violation. As we conclude today's M-Talk, we would like to extend our support and solidarity to Palestinians. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.